Before we get to this video, yet again, I'm going to talk to you about FUTTRADING.co.uk. I know a lot of you get annoyed by it, but it is what allows me to do this job full time. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far this year. The feedback has been phenomenal. But FUTTRADING.co.uk is a website that was launched by myself and Dan, aka V273, over on Twitch, whereby you guys learn how to trade and get given buying and selling prices for so many cards. We're talking thousands of cards on the market. And just gone live right now is our League SBC investment guide where you guys can make hundreds of thousands of coins from. And icons are now live on the site, buying and selling prices for pretty much every single icon on this game. It's £10 a month for tier 1, which gets you access to all the buying prices and selling prices. And £15 a month for tier 2, which gets you access to our amazing live filters tool, which helps you guys make thousands of coins immediately with some of the best sniping filters on this game. You also get access to this CHEM style calculator, tells you what to sell your cards for, and a trade storage area which we have built ourselves for you guys to use so you can keep a track of how much coins you are making every single day on this game. Make sure you check out FUTTRADING.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload of the trading video that will help you guys make coins. I stream live every day pretty much on Twitch. Click the link down below, come over to Twitch. For this week, I should be live 3:30, slightly longer streams because you guys, I know, are on half term. Make sure you check out FUTTRADING.co.uk for all your trading needs. It's an insanely good website. People making millions of coins each week. And make sure you check out my Twitter. Click the link down below. I try my hardest to get back to as many people as I can in DMs. I do get quite a few each day, so if I don't get back to you, I apologise. But if you need any help at all, send me a DM. But today, we are talking about investing into Weekend League. Now, we've briefly touched on rewards investing and how you can make as many coins as possible from buying into players in a rewards crash, which tends to happen every time people get rewards, buying them at the lowest and then selling them on into Weekend League. Now, I've always said if you've got loads of time on this game, then instant flipping and making profit straight away is a better way to trade. However, not everybody has the time to sit on this game for 4 or 5 hours a day and make coins when they're trading. So I want to show you guys that may have a few 100,000 coins, million coins sat in your club how to make coins. And the reason for this is if you've got 1 mil coins sat in your club or 500,000 coins or 300,000 coins sat in your club, it's doing nothing. And the way I liken it is to a bank account or a savings account. You want to put that money into something as an investment in the hopes that obviously it will come back and make you more coins later on. Always understand with any trading on FIFA, there's always a risk in terms of things happening on the game, variables that you can't control, such as promo packs, for example, during rule breakers at the moment. So you have to be mindful of that. You do have to be mindful of that. But there are easy ways and easy things you can do to look at it. So I'm going to start by looking at a few players over on FUTBIN and their graphs. I'm going to go from there. I will be right back. Alright guys, so here we are over on FUTBIN. Now I'm going to show you, I think it's 4 players that we looked at last week with me and my mods in the Discord. What you need to understand about the FIFA market is early game is very skittish. It's a bit all over the place. And so it's hard to sort of read what goals are going to do. As the game progresses, it starts to calm down. The market starts to calm down a little bit. And we're starting to see that now with players starting to have sort of a consistent sort of drop and rise. And the hope is that that continues because it makes it far easier to invest in. I'm going to be honest, the market has been massively up and down, way more than I ever remember it being on FIFA. Normally it tends to, maybe first week and a half, it tends to be a bit skittish and then it settles. It's only really settling now. So understand there's always risk attached to these sort of things, but if you start to do your homework, you start to look at what the market's doing, you can make a lot of coins. So we'll start by looking at Frenkie de Jong. Now, Frenkie de Jong is obviously a very meta card. People like him, they use him. He links to Messi, which people use. He's a very, very good card. Now, right now on Xbox, sat at 60,000 coins. Remember, this is the price he's currently sat at. It does not mean you can't pick him up for less. Always remember that. The most important thing to know about FUTBIN is with the graphs, it's an average price. And with this, it's a price currently. It doesn't mean you don't see a Frenkie de Jong up for 55, 56, 57k. So always be mindful of that. But if we have a look at Frenkie de Jong's graph from last week, so important we see where he was here and he comes down. So at his low point last week, which was Monday last week, he was 56,000 coins, give or take. And he sort of held that price into Wednesday before going up in Thursday. And obviously the big rise usually is into Friday/Saturday for Weekend League. Now, just take the Saturday price with a pinch of salt because overnight Friday into Saturday is usually when the market is highest on this game. The average price on a Saturday is once people start either completing games or selling players off, a lot of people in the game, the prices tend to come down later into Saturday. So take the Saturday price with a pinch of salt. But we know that his low point was on the Wednesday at 56,000 coins. He got up as high as 67,000 coins into Weekend League. The reason for this, people open up the rewards on Thursday, the market comes down, and then people start buying up cards for the Weekend League teams, and then that supply is taken away from the market, and the cards come up in price. It was an almost 11,000 coin jump in Frankie de Jong last week from where he was to into Weekend League. That is a huge amount of coins if you bought into him. And the way that I say that is, if you bought into Frankie de Jong at 55,000 coins, which is more than feasible, this is just an average price here. This 56,000 is just an average. You could probably get him at 52, 53 relatively consistently. If you then sell him at an average of about 67,000 coins, after EA tax, you're looking at about, give or take, 10% of 6,7, about 8,000 coins profit a card, roughly, give or take. So if you bought 5 of these cards earlier in the week and did whatever with them, you're looking at 40,000 coins profit just for coins that you've put aside, which is good. It's very, very good. But this, De Jong for me, is someone that you would buy into if you have a lot of coins. If you've got 1 mil, 2 mil coins, I'd be looking at someone like a De Jong because you don't want to be buying 30, 40, 50 of a player if it means you have to sell them back. So that's sort of where I'd look for De Jong. But there are examples of how you can make more coins on the market right now with cheaper players. So Adama Traore, for example, right now sat at 9,500 coins on Xbox, 13,250 on PS4. I tend to look at Xbox prices, but the prices are still relatively similar in the way it does it for PS4 as well. So make sure you check out the PS4 prices. But again, low point into Thursday of 10,000 coins. He's slightly lower than that at the moment, but I want a little bit more of a drop before I buy into him, if I'm going to buy into him. And then his climb was to 13,000 coins here before getting the drop off into Saturday and Sunday, etc. It happens. But his jump here is what? 3,750 coins, give or take. Now, when we look at EA tax on this one, you're looking at something in the region of about 650 coins, maybe slightly more than. Which means your profit is about 3,000 coins per card for a 10,000 coins spend on an Adama Traore. Now, Frankie de Jong, you're looking at about 8,000 coins, but it's a 60,000 coins spend, roughly give or take, 55 last week. But Adama, for slightly less than half the profit back, you're spending what is about, again, 17% of what you were spending. So if to sort of put it simply, for every Frankie de Jong you buy, you could buy roughly 5 Adama Traores, roughly. Now, 5 Adama Traores gives you back a rough sort of 15,000 coins of profit, whereas a De Jong for the same price gives you about 8,000 coins of profit. So if you're at the low end of the market and you have less coins, Adama for me is going to be your play. Someone like him. Now, do not all go out and buy the exact same card. Do not go out and buy Adama, because if you all buy Adama, he gets overinvested and then the market comes down on him. For me, I'd be more interested in looking at other players to do a similar sort of thing from other leagues and from the Premier League and then buying into those. Spread your bets evenly amongst the people that you're going to buy into. The reason for this is if one doesn't see a rise, but the other 3 or 4 you buy into do, that offsets the losses or the break-even you make on one card with the 4 profits you make on the others. Now, another mid-range one is David Alaba. I looked at him last week and I was interested in him to see what he did. Again, 21,000 coins was his low. I picked him up for as low as 19, I think 18 on some of them. We got him sold for 25, roughly give or take, into Weekend League this week, which is very, very nice. But again, you're looking at about 1,200 coins coming off for the profit margin here. So you're looking at about 2,000 coins profit a card. And so I'm noticing a sort of trend that the Premier League ones tend to do better, in my opinion, than most other leagues. But again, it's not to be sniffed at as good profit. And there's ways you can increase your profit, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then finally, Federico Valverde, massively meta card this year. 22,500. His lowest is 19,000. He got up to 23,000. Again, you're looking at about just over 1,000 coins taken off of that. You're looking at about 3,000 coins profit a card if you buy it at 19k. Now, that's all well and good because you're making coins off these ones. But how do you make even more profit? And the simplistic way you make more profit on this is buying these cards at their lowest with hunters and shadows on them because they're worth slightly more. One thing we've noticed this year, last year there was a massive demand for shadows and hunters. That demand doesn't quite seem to be there this year. It doesn't mean that you're not able to sell cards for slightly more. You are. Yesterday I was picking up Denzel Dumfries rule breaker card for 21,000 coins, selling him for 25,000 coins with a shadow on him. But it just means that the gap isn't quite what it was last year. That will pick up over time. But whenever you buy with a hunter or shadow, that card is instantly worth more money than his normal type because those chem styles cost 3,000 to 4,000 coins each. So when I'm looking at someone like a Valverde, I'm thinking, okay, cool. If I could pick him up at 19,000 coins with a shadow on him, yes, his average price was 23,000, but that did not include the shadow that would be on him that I could probably sell him for about 26,000 coins. Suddenly my profit increases massively. If I look at David Alaba, again, his drop off was to 21,000 coins, sold at 25. If I picked him up at 21, I'm probably selling for about 28. Suddenly my profit increases. And I would much rather take my time over the day to buy into these specifically with shadows and hunters on them, because it will increase my profit long term. Adama, again, doesn't really need a hunter because of his pace, but people still buy them with hunters on them. And again, his drop was 10,000 up to 13. If I bought him with a hunter at 10,000, I'm probably selling for 16,000 coins a card. Now I'm getting back, give or take, about 5,000 coins profit off of that card with a hunter on him, which is an insane return for a 10,000 coin spend. I'm getting almost 50% return on investment, which is massive. It's huge. And then we go to Frankie de Jong. At the higher end, I would be mindful that the pronounced sort of price rises with shadows and whatnot isn't quite what it is at the lower end. So I'd be mindful of that. But again, with de Jong, pick him up a shadow. This sort of 67 suddenly becomes maybe 70. It's still very decent profit. And that shadow sort of offsets the fact that you're getting taxed a lot more for the fact it's a higher card than EA tax. So this really is, for me, when we're starting to see the market settle into what it should be. Because the market at the moment, what we've seen, I think, is people sort of buying into a lot of cards. Everyone trying to get all those FIFA point spenders buying cards. It's kept the market up and down. It's been bizarre. We've had a lot of decent packs early on as well. So for me now, we're starting to see how the market should perform and how it doesn't perform and how it does perform. And I think we start to see that we'll start to see that consistent peak and trough now. Up for weekend league, down after that. Up for weekend league, down after that. But let's put another caveat in there. We have promo packs every day at 6 p.m. Every single day at 6 p.m. we see promo packs. That means at 6 p.m. there is usually quite a heavy supply of cards onto the market. Market drops off and then it climbs again throughout the rest of the evening. That for me is probably where I'm going to look to buy into my players, because if I look at the store right now, and these are the packs on the store right now. We have Premium Gold Player Packs, Mega Packs and Prime Gold Player Packs. And these are obviously very important because at 6 p.m. EA seems to release a new batch every day. And when EA release a batch of these packs, I have noticed the market tends to come quite far down. If I bought anything, I see them drop off. I don't panic because I know the market will bounce back. But this is important because if at 6 p.m. we see a lot of supply from cards, it tends to bring the market down. And what I tend to find, it's a lot easier to pick up shadows and hunters on the cards that I'm interested in buying into at 6 p.m. because loads of people list them and then people panic sell, or people that are just listing them up might get, I don't know, they might get David Alaba in one of their packs and they get rid of their old one, list them up. It just happens that way. So for me, 6 p.m. is a time that I tend to look into buying in. Now, will I buy in today specifically? No, I will not. The reason for this is Rule Breakers is the first big promo we've had so far on FIFA. Now, my question mark is, if we keep getting promo packs every day like we are, does the market come down quite heavily this week? Or does it actually climb as people get more coins and able to buy better players? That is a question to me, and I want to look at that this week. So for me, I'll probably hold off on buying into anything, possibly into Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even into Thursday, because I think we're going to get consistent supply, and I want to see what these cards do. Does Valverde get well below 20,000 coins, or do the card prices start coming up? Does Adama drop below 7,000 or 8,000 coins, or does he keep going up? And either ways, I'm not in any rush. I will look to see what the market does throughout this week with this constant promo pack supply, so I have an idea of when I need to buy in the right moment. And what I will do is I'll select 5, 6, 7 players that I want to look at, and all week I will keep an eye on their prices on FUTBin, and I'll look for the perfect buy-in time to maximise my profits. I know they will see a rise into Weekend League, they always do. It's just knowing when to buy in, and that is what you guys need to start getting a grasp of, getting an idea of FUTBin. Choose 4 or 5 players. If you all go and choose the exact same players I've just shown you, you're going to end up getting stung because everyone's over-investing and listing at the same time. It brings prices down. Go and look at all these meta players throughout all the leagues and go, okay, cool. Which ones here do I think I'm going to see? I'm going to see a rise or a fall. And I'd look, if it depends on your coin budget. If you've got low coins, look at lower end. If you've got mid sort of tier coins, or sort of half a mil, whatever, look at mid end. And if you've got big coins, millions of coins, I'd look at higher end to save yourself time, because time is money. But that is going to be the end of this video. If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Make sure you turn on your notifications and check out FUTTRADING.co.uk for all your trading needs. But for now, lads, I am out. Peace out. I will speak to you soon.